Man. Hey, my name's Ira. I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I thank you guys for letting us come out, and try to, I'm a drug addict too, but I found my solution, Alcoholics Anonymous, and, recovery came through the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous. I went to treatment and all, but, I didn't drink till I was 36 years old, but I was an IV drug user from 13. I didn't drink because my father died at 47 from this disease. He fought for this country. He was a Philadelphia police officer 20 years. After retired, he died from cirrhosis, and my brother also died from this disease. After 9 years in prison, he got out. The world changed and he did, and he committed suicide in 6 months. So this disease will kill you one way or another, So yeah, when I started drinking at 36, it was a reason. I was trying to get a job at Palm Beach County, and I always got good jobs. I could never keep one though. I'm a high school dropout, 9th grade. I'm a convicted felon in Florida, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. And I was able to get a job for Palm Beach County, working for Public Works, because I was able to manipulate my way after a year hanging out with all the people that worked at the place, selling them dope and shit like that. They got me in this place, and it was kind of badass. But within a month, I recognized myself as an alcoholic, because I drank alcoholically because I was chasing a high from a speedball with alcohol, and it doesn't work that way, and within 3 months, I wound up, I can identify myself, if you guys know the book, as a jaywalker. So I'm going to go with that and see if you guys understand where I'm coming from, how this book was written so long ago, and it popped up in my life as I read. I could not believe what I was reading. I was like, oh shit, that's my life, because this book is written about you guys, if you want to read it. But yeah, so I wound up getting rhabdomyolysis. That's where my kidneys and my muscles failed on me in the middle of Okeechobee Boulevard. I'm diabetic. I went to the hospital, and the reason I can get the job is because I can get in, but I would have to take a piss test after that, on a third party. So I was able to, when I got to the hospital, they prescribed me Dilaudid, so I got a pass 3 months in the job that I can still get high. And now I'm an alcoholic on top of it, so from the age 13 to 47, I cannot tell you what I did with my life. I didn't accomplish anything. I had no aspirations to do anything, and nothing. My life was total, a mess, from the beginning. But yeah, as I got sick, from 36 to 47, man, I had 160 hospital visits and 90 admissions, in this area. I just recently got paperwork from Palms West Hospital. It was 18,000 pages. That's how many, I got addicted to hospitals, institutions, death, whatever it is. I want more of it, and yeah, so the doctors, they were telling me, man, Ira, man, you got to stop drinking, man. You're going to dehydrate yourself. You're going to keep on getting sick, So I started getting pancreatitis. I can count on maybe 2 hands how many times I was diagnosed with pancreatitis. I would drink myself enough so I go to the hospital so I can get Dilaudid if I ran out of any other drugs that I couldn't get my hands on, and doctors like, Ira, man, you got to stop, and then my liver starts getting bad on me, you know what I mean, and Ira, you got to stop drinking, man, you're going to get cirrhosis. Ira, stop shooting drugs in your arm, you're going to get hepatitis C. Well, Ira got cirrhosis, Ira got hepatitis C, because Ira wants to do it his own way. No one can help me. I figure this is the way I'm going to die anyway. Like I said, I was 47 when I got better. And that was the year, the age my father died. So 47 is a good number for me, man. We lost a life, but we gained a life too, through this program. But yeah, I wound up, I could not stop drinking. It wasn't that I couldn't, I wouldn't stop drinking. You know what I mean? I wouldn't stop pushing drugs in my arm, man. And it was brutal, stopped counting it like 30 times for Baker Acts, and there I've been all the psych wards all over the place, and no one can tell me anything, man. You know what I mean? So one day the doctor, this is going to be on page 18. If you read page 18 in the big book, this is where my story again is in the big book. My doctor came to my room and told me, he's like, I got bad news for you. How much more bad news could I have? I already got cirrhosis, hepatitis C. He's like, well, you got cancer. And I was like, bet, thank you. You know what I mean? I'm going to die from cancer, not alcohol or drugs. So people are going to look at me differently. You know what I mean? So I thought it was kind of like a badge of honor, This is the way I'm going to skate out, and no one's going to really, look at my life the way it really was, You know, just lying to myself. You know, never took care of it. You know, so you know, by the age, my mother, man, who's sitting right outside this fence right now, around 62, she started drinking because she was watching. You know, she lost her son and her husband. You know, my dad fought the Vietnam War, went back to Vietnam, lived there. You know, my brother was born there. I was made there. You know what I mean? It was hard growing up in the 70s, man. You know, in Philadelphia. But yeah, so she started getting sick, man. By the time she was 67, man, you know, she was all fucked up, man. You know, she had fell, busted her head, forgot how to walk. You know what I mean? And it wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that I didn't love her. I loved her, but I didn't know how to care for her. It was actually kind of like, in my mind was like, well, she's going to be getting taken care of now. I don't have to just be there, you know, and have both of us watch each other drink each other to death, you know, because alcohol is so progressive. You know, in 5 years, my mom had so much damage done to her. You know, so she gets brought to the hospital. You know, that day I OD'd in my bathroom waiting for the paramedics to come for my mom. They found me dead, you know, along with my mom laying on the floor. You know, so they go to the hospital. You know, I come to, you know what I mean, and yeah, Palms West lets me stay there every day, night and day. You know, I got a nice recliner and shit like that. But every day, you know, like I was telling you, all these visits at Palms West Hospital, ABC Liquors across the street. I would have a room on the floor, sneak out, go to ABC Liquor, drink on top of the sickness I had, and wind up being back in the emergency room. So I would have 2 rooms in the hospital, you know, at the same time. And they're like, Ira, what are you doing? You know, it was like automatic Baker Act. You know what I mean? The sheriff at the door, because I caused havoc. They changed a lot of rules in that hospital because of me. You know, it's horrible, man. You know, a couple times my mom's in the hospital. You know, I wound up, you know, I drank myself into a diabetic coma. I DKA'd in the parking lot. And the second time I fell and busted my head and went into respiratory failure. Both times in the parking lot of Palms West Hospital, they found me. You know, and because I could not stop, man. I really, 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 even if I wanted to and I didn't, it wasn't possible. You know, I was going to die of this. You know, something's going to kill me soon. You know, so my mom's there for a few months. She gets moved to this place where she can learn to walk. You know, it's like they were taking care of her there. You know, but I get there and I'm not allowed to stay there overnight like I was at Palms West. You know, and it's 10 minutes from my house. You know, so you know, I kind of want to know what's going on, but I'm shooting dope all day and I'm drinking all day. This is how I used to manage my first handle a day. I would buy 6 pints, and every time I drank a pint, every time I took a shot, I drank a pint. You know, and that was like for the first 6 or 7 hours of the day, man. You know, I was 275 pounds, and it wasn't from eating. Every organ in my body was swelled up, you know, and yeah, so that night, you know, I leave at 9 o'clock, I go home, you know, I got a full script, man, you know, so I bought a handful of crack, man, and I went home and shot all night, and I drank a handle. You know, by the time I got back to the hospital the next morning, man, I'm totally out of it. I become the doctor. You know, I'm telling the doctors, my mom needs Percocet, she needs Ativan, she needs all this. It's just so if my mother ever gets out of this place, I'm going to have an extra prescription for myself. That's what goes through my head and shit, man. You know, so I'm real belligerent, you know, the doctors are like, you're a fucking asshole, man. And I'm like, yep. You know, and, you know, that night, man, I go out into my mother's vehicle, man, and I drank 3 more pints, man, through a straw, because I shake so much. You know, next thing I know, it was smashed, man. I crushed this car. I'm like, man, you know, I wake up, you know, about a month or so later in Wellington Regional Hospital, you know, and I got tubes coming out everywhere, man. You know, I'm really sick, man, and I'm banged up and shit, man. And the sheriff's just telling me, you're locked up. And I kind of know, because I remember the crash. I don't remember nothing else. So it's kind of like, whatever, man. And all the sheriffs know me, man. You know what I mean? They're like, whatever with you, dude. Just die or something. You know what I mean? That's what goes through my head that they're thinking. They're really not thinking that. You know, so the doctors are telling me, I know what they're treating me for. You know what I mean? You know, I don't need to hear this. All I need is, where's my drugs coming from? You know, all I'm thinking about, just coming out of a coma, man, I want drugs automatically, man. You know? And so I get put on the pump, I get my IV use, you know, and it's crazy, man. The nurses, you know, before I get moved up to the floor, they're like, they know me too in this hospital really well. They're like, Ira, you want to know what happened, man? And I was like, yeah, whatever, you know, what happened, you know. I crushed a car with 2 little kids in it, man. You know what I mean? And it didn't bother me. When they told me that, it didn't really bother me at all. You know, all I was worried was about me. It's always me, man. Where's my drugs at? I don't care what else happened to the other people, you know, and because I'm a scumbag, man. You know what I mean? This life that I was living, it was, you know, it's not worthy of anything. You know, so I can't walk, man. You know, I'm all banged up, you know, and for 3 months, man, I got all the drugs. Yo, they put me in this room where they had broken wheelchairs and stretchers and broken stuff in this room, and they just put me in a corner and hooked me up in the corner of this room. You know, didn't even have central air. It had an air conditioner that was just put right there in front of me, man. They're kind of like, yo, we don't even give a shit about you anymore, you know, because they know I'm not going to stop, you know, and I'm going to be an asshole. They know, they're already prepared for what Ira's going to be, you know. And yeah, man. So I stayed there for a few months, man. What goes through my head the whole time, I'm obsessing over alcohol. I'm like, how am I going to get a drink? I really want to drink. You know, I got all the drugs, but I can't get the alcohol out of my mind, man. So the sheriffs come one day and they're like, Ira, you know, sign this paper. When you get out of here, go to your court date. You don't show up, do what you got to do. And they know what I need to do, you know what I mean? So I was like, I bet. You know, within hours, yo, I AMA from the hospital, man. I was like, I'm getting alcohol no matter what. I'm getting this tonight, man. You know, I can't walk. You know what I mean? I'm a mess, man. I got tubes coming out of everywhere, man. So they should have Baker. I don't know why they didn't Baker Act me this time. And you know, this van, I called this taxi cab, and a banged up yellow cab minivan pulled up. Yeah, of course, you know, fucking hoopty and shit, man. You know, so they helped me in this van, man. This Haitian dude helps me. You know, as soon as we get to Okeechobee and Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, I was like, dude, you need to stop. I'll pay for it. I need for you to go in the liquor store, man. He went into the liquor store for me. He came out with a handle of Wolfschmitz. It cost $7.98. I should have bought 2 of them, you know, because what happens after this is, it's crazy. You know, so I go home, man, you know, everything from my house, yo, neither my mom or me are in the house, because I had to break into my house when I found my mom. Yo, and it was just, everything was rotten in my house. No power, no nothing, no water, no nothing. You know, shit in my toilet, man, for like, you know, 6 months and shit, man. You know what I mean? There's bugs. It was crazy, man. You know, and I live in a nice house. You know what I mean? Nice townhouse. But I sat there, you know, and I got like this much of vodka into me, man. And I got violently sick, man. And it was the first time, you know, I had many suicide attempts, you know what I mean? And you know, I come to believe now that, you know, them suicide attempts I had would cry for help. I just didn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? So if I, you know, I was told if I really wanted to die, I'd be dead. Of course. You know, so I didn't want to die. But that night, it came across my mind. I was like, yo, I'm going to die. I felt like I was going to die. And I was like, all right, I am good with this. You know, this is all right. But I didn't. Yo, I had a mind that wanted to die and a body that wouldn't, man. You know, it was freaking brutal. You know, so I want to go get my prescriptions filled, man. Yo, I told you I couldn't walk, right? And I live in a townhouse. They had a wheelchair there for me. Yo, I tried a wheelchair up to Walgreens, man. It's like a 10-minute walk up and 10-minute walk back from my house. I couldn't do it, man, you know? So I got my walker. Yo, I dragged my... Yo, it took me 9 hours for like a 30-minute mission, man. You know? I got another handle of Wolfschmitz, man. I got my prescriptions filled. I made it home. You know, the decision comes to my mind. Yo, I become homeless, basically, with a home. You know, because I was going through... Yo, by this time, I had 2 water bottles full of vodka on the way up. By the time I got up there, my body adjusted right away to the alcohol. So I can drink like I was drinking before. It's crazy. You know, so I started banging away on my drugs and shit, man. You know, I'm drinking, you know, and what goes through my head is, yo, I got like a handle left. I got a bunch. What am I going to do after this? This just cost me, you know, 9 hours. And I ain't going to do this again, man. So I pack up a bag, man, you know, and I go up and I hang out at Dunkin' Donuts there. They have like a gazebo in the back. And the homeless people there that I used to stand out front of Walgreens from 8:30 to 9 o'clock waiting for the lady to come in, man. You know, and they'd be sitting there with me, you know, just to get my booze. You know, and they would go back and forth to my house, you know, and wheel me back and forth, man. You know, it's crazy, man. You know, I was just dying. And I couldn't wait, man. You know, so it comes, you know, my brother had a daughter when he went to prison. She was 1 year old, you know, and this young girl, man, when I moved from Philly down to here in 1998, She came down every holiday, every summer. She had like a second life down here and shit, man. By the time she was 16, she was a heroin addict, man. She does what we call down here Palm Beach shuffle, man. She jumps in all kinds of rehabs all over the United States, man. And she can't get it. She don't want to get it, and I understand that. You know what I mean? I lose contact with her, but she winds up. She goes to this place, man. You're not supposed to get in a relationship when you're here. You know what I mean? If you are, God bless you. But try not to, for real. Because it's damaging. It'll take away from your recovery. So she winds up in Arizona with her cousin, and of course she gets in a relationship, and she married this dude, man. He was part owners of the rehab. She lives in a big ass black house in Wisconsin, man. I got 2 great nephews and a great niece from her, and they're gonna come try to save Uncle Ira, man. And again, by the time they get to my house, this is July 30th, 2019, and they come down and they're like, I used to watch Intervention and be like, yo, I can't, this is the only way I'm going to get sober. I'm going to get put in a place like this where everything's handed to me, So we go to there, she comes down, and she sees the monster I became. Like the image of me was unbelievable, man, and she hugs me, and it was the first time in many, many years that I actually felt something. I felt her love and shit, man. So what I do, I went in the same exact bathroom and I fucking went out again, because I don't know how to deal with problems in my life. Happy, sad, no matter what, I need drugs. I need alcohol, no matter what. So they get me back, they Narcan my ass, they bring me over to where my mom is, and they give me an intervention happens. It's like, nah, hell no. I ain't fucking trying to go no place, man. I'm just going to stay here. I got court in August. I'm just going to go away because I point out the 5 years in Palm Beach County in Florida. So even though it wasn't a felony, but I got charged with a double DUI, because my alcohol level was 4.43. You know what I mean? Basically 43% of my blood was alcohol, and I was like, no way, man. I'm not doing this. I was like, I'll just stay in the house. I'm like, no, my mom, when she gets out of here, she's selling the house. She's moving to Wisconsin with us. They don't want to sell the house, and wind up, they found someone dead in there, and the house wouldn't sell. So they tried everywhere in South Florida, on the West Coast, the East Coast. Nobody would take me. I can't fucking walk. I'm a mess. I got all these, diseases going on, man. And this place down in Homestead, Florida said, we'll take them. A nonprofit, it was crazy. Drinking all day, they got me dope, man. I was shooting dope all day. I was a mess. I literally got carried into treatment, and this is July 31st of 2019. My sobriety date's August 1st, 2019. It was the last time I drank and drug, man. And I won't, with a lot of things that keeps me from drinking and drugging today, I know God helps me with it, is knowing how I got there. That pain that I was in, I do not want to experience again, and so yeah, we go there, and all I remember, they were saying, chinga beam boom ba, chinga beam boom ba, Ira, rah, rah, rah. I'm like, what the fuck? And I didn't know what the hell's going on, and I winded up passing out, I guess, man, and I woke up in this room, and there was 3 sets of bunk beds and 5 Mexicans, 5 Spanish people in my room, and they were praying. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I'm already detoxing. My mind tells me, and my body reacts to what my mind tells it. And it winds up, the president of the place comes out. I went to Drug Addicts Anonymous, Corona Self-Help Centers of America. They got 10 houses now in the United States. They got 32 houses in Mexico. It's 90% Spanish speaking. I'm Irish and Vietnamese. The language barrier is kind of crazy, So I almost died that day. They brought me to the hospital, but I detoxed for like maybe a month and a half or so in a meeting room, shitting, pissing, throwing up all over myself. They cleaned me up, and they're taking care of me, man. We detoxed with nothing. I was detoxing from fentanyl, dope, methadone, alcohol, and whatever other drug could get in my body, man. I had to go through withdrawal with nothing. And it was scary, man. because I couldn't disguise and help myself escape from the fear that was going through me, man. Like, holy shit, you know, I'm in the middle of nowhere in Homestead, Florida. I was on Chrome Avenue, and there ain't shit there but farms, you know. So it's kind of odd how God worked in my favor my whole life. He was there the whole time. I just didn't have my malady was the disconnect from the universe. Had no idea, didn't know how to believe in anything. I knew there was a God, you know, but I didn't know how to read or write when I got there. You know, I forgot how to read and write. Everything got translated to me. Amazing. I don't have to read none. They're telling me. But, you know, I find out, you know, when the program was, you know, it wasn't 90 days, 90 meetings. It was 7 meetings a day, an hour and a half a day, every day. Imagine the first part of your recovery, everything being translated to you, you know, and agent be telling you, yo, Ira, they're saying you're a great guy, you're doing great. You know, and they're telling me that I was doing all kinds of crazy shit that they shouldn't have been saying, you know what I mean? You know, and it was kind of funny when I found out they were doing that, you know what I mean? Because place saved my life, man. You know what I mean? We had no radio, no TV, no phone. You know, we ate rice and beans and eggs just about every single day. We had no food. It was non-profit. We had tons of vegetables. Yo, they gave us 7 squares of toilet paper a day just so we know how to appreciate toilet paper, toothpaste, deodorant. When we leave here, you know, we tend to throw a lot of things away because we take for granted what we have out here. You know, I'll get back to that toilet paper thing. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, yo, Goodwill, can I do this? Yo, Padrino, Padrino was sponsored. Padrino, can you hear me out? You know, all day long. It was crazy, man. And this dog Max was there, man. He was my best friend's little guy, man. You know, so I think I'm going home 90 days, man. 90 days comes up, you know, I call my mother and she's like, you can't come get you. You know, we didn't sell the house. My mom lives in Wisconsin. My mom wound up moving back to Palm Beach County, though, after this. Because she found out my niece and her husband wasn't going to let me live there. You know, and she didn't want me to come out and have nowhere to go. So she moved back to Palm Beach County. But, yo, in October, I have to stay. So we have a costume party, man. We make our own costumes and shit like that. Of course, I didn't participate in it. I put on a pair of sunglasses and a shirt, and I didn't button it up or whatever. You know, I was a piece of shit. You know, and November comes. I think I'm going home. They don't come get me for Thanksgiving. So I wound up being in this play called Tom the Turkey, and I was the grandmother in this play. Yo, there's like 200 people on this property, man. All, you know, basically Spanish. My lines were in English. Everybody else's lines were in Spanish. But when I was saying my lines, I could have told, this is the time I could have told them anything I wanted because they didn't know what my lines were. But because I was kind of forgetting some of the stuff. So, you know, I went on to do that. But I looked up and I seen everybody smiling and laughing, yo. And it was kind of like, bet, yo. There's 6 of us here that our families aren't here, but everybody, yo, they have joy in their life. You know, their families are coming back in their life. They came down here. We had tons of food from Trader Joe's, Publix. Everybody donated to us on the holidays. So I think I'm going home Christmas time. Yo, that shit ain't happening. You know, January 26th comes. I finally get a visit, right? So my mom comes down, and it's a beautiful, I don't know, if you guys are from Florida, man, you know the end of January and February is a beautiful time in South Florida. It's all blue skies, you know, and the weather's great. You know, we had all the windows and shit open, the doors open, and I'm sitting there chairing the meeting, you know, and as I look up, I see my mom standing there, man, and I was like, yo, what I'm about to tell you is the most important thing that ever happened to me in my recovery, and I didn't realize that until I got out. I tried to get up and go see my mom in the middle of the meeting, and the secretary, Costobo, was like, sit down. I was like, no, I'm going to go see my mom. He's like, Ira, man, you're not going to get it, bro. You know what I mean? You're going to get up and go see your mom, you know, and you're putting something before your sobriety. He's like, yo, sit down. Your sobriety comes first. You don't get to see your mom unless you're sober. Sit down and finish this meeting. Yo, I sat down and finished that meeting. That's the most important thing that happened to me in my recovery. My sobriety came first, no matter what. No matter what, kids, mother, father, it doesn't matter, man. You know, if I'm not sober, I have nothing. So we go, I think I'm going home that day. It doesn't happen. They don't take me home and shit, man. I'm like, fuck. You know, I really want to leave, but I don't care if I stay because I learned to adapt to my situations very easily. You know, so I was actually liking the place. You know what I mean? It started being fun. You know, so they don't come get me, but March 23rd, they come get me. Because COVID's out there, you know, and how we survived down there, You know, they go to Catholic churches and I bring our testimonies in there. People donate to us. We go out and sell T-shirts in like shopping centers and stuff like that we print ourselves. You know, it's kind of like a business that keeps the place going. So what's funny is there was a toilet paper shortage. Yo, I had no problem buying like a 6-pack of Scotties, bro. I would have been good the whole pandemic. You know what I mean? I knew how to use toilet paper properly, you know, so it didn't really matter, man. You know, and it's kind of fun. Everybody's like jetting around, you know, and Costco and Walmart's the only place open. I think I'm going home. Yo, the whole time I'm getting better there. I'm actually getting better. You know, they helped me get rid of my hep, you know, and still got cirrhosis, the cancer, you know, that come along. I'm cancer-free and hepatitis-free today. You know, that's because of this program, Alcoholics Anonymous, saved my life. And my higher power, you know, I choose to call God. You know, so what goes through I'm planning a relapse the whole time, you know, going home. But yo, there's nothing going on. Yo, CNN and replays of like the Nebraska-Miami game in '87, bro. There's nothing going on and shit. It's like, fuck. So I get to eat good and shit, right? You know, and I had a plan when I left there. It wasn't a good plan, but it wound up being the best plan I could have for myself. Call Intergroup. They told me to call Intergroup. So after a couple of days of just chilling, I wanted to go to a meeting. You know, I've been to a few hundred of them when I was there. So I call up this place, man, and Intergroup puts me on this hotline. Yo, this dude, he's my boy today, man. He's like, Ira, man, go to the Triangle Club. They're having meetings out back, and you'll like it. So I go there thinking someone's going to be like one of us. You know, they are one of us there. And they're going to get me high and drunk, you know, and I'm going to have an excuse. No one's going to know. I'm going to sneak and be a creep, you know. And, you know, have my mom believe that I'm sober and I'm not, you know. But that doesn't happen neither, man. Yo, the Lunch Bunch crew at the Triangle Club is like lawyers, doctors, you know, a lot of retired people from Palm Beach. They take their sobriety serious. And I wasn't. I was just staying sober, man, you know, I was abstinent. That's about it. This crazy ass mind was building up energy as I was going, like, oh, this is going to happen soon. Yo, my aunt dies on July 9th, man. You know, 11 months into it. I love my aunt. We all grew up in the same house in Philadelphia, you know. My uncle's a Vietnam vet too. You know, my cousin, my brother, my grandfather, we all grew up in the same house. So here goes my excuse. I'm going to go to Philadelphia, which I haven't been since 2008, and I'm going to get trashed because my excuse is Ira's going to mourn. Because when my father died, I was the only one that hurt. I had to make a scene of it. You know what I mean? I'm so selfish. Everybody had to feel sorry for me. My dad died, but I want everybody to feel sorry for me because I'm hurting. You know, and the same thing happened with my brother. I did the same exact thing, man. So I think, you know, this is going to be it. But what happened was, you know, they tell you sobriety first, get a home group, get a sponsor, and stay active. Well, I did that, but I didn't get a sponsor. I got a mentor, like a couple of them, you know, because I didn't want to do the work. I was just going to stay sober until I got high again. You know, so I go to the meeting. I'm going to go tell my man, you know, a couple of my mentors there. You know, one of my best guys out there, he's atheist. But, yo, that man helped me with this program so much, you know, just the work part of it. So this dude, Joe, comes in and he speaks, man. Story's totally different than mine, but I identified with something because the topic was honesty. Yo, and they tell you in how it works, the first paragraph or two, honesty 3 times, they tell you that. Yo, I needed to be honest with myself. And I'm sitting there like, yo, I got a plane ticket to Philly. Everybody, you know, I got shame and everything coming over me, like pouring into me. You know, shame is like God telling me I'm doing something wrong, you know. So I raised my hand. I don't know why I raised my hand. And I got honest. Yo, this place saved my life. Yo, this chick, man, and her husband, you know, I knew them on the streets, man. My man got 11 years now. He got it before I did and shit, man. But I wound up getting a sponsor. My sponsor is someone that I got high for the first time on dope when he was 17 years old. You know, and I was 30. I worked at Northwood University, bro. You know, I got caught stealing a lot of money there. That's how I wound up getting a job at the county because I lost my job there. And this dude comes, he's like, yo, he calls me on the phone. He's like, is this Ira, man? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you work at Northwood University? He's like, yo, it's John. I'm like, all right, bet. This young kid, man, you know. He's like, I'll come pick you up. He comes to this, yo, this dude is fucking a monster now. He's fucking giant. He got a big ass beard and shit, man. It's like, damn, this dude gonna kill somebody, you know. And it didn't work out because I wanted to talk about bullshit. He wanted to read the book, and I was like, nah, it ain't happening. I ain't doing it. It took a while for me to do the work. So he didn't become my sponsor, so it goes on, man. Now I'm going to jump a little bit forward. 18 months into my program, I was hurting really bad. I got active. I did everything. I did everything but get a sponsor, man. So I wound up asking this young man from Philadelphia to be my sponsor. We grew up in the same neighborhood, but 17 years different. My grand sponsor grew up 20 years before me in the same neighborhood. So I got kind of a good little strong-ass sobriety family, man. People like Rob and other people in my life, man, save me on a daily basis. This is saving my life today. You guys are helping me save my life. So I started doing the work, man. But on May 1st of 2021, it was 21 months to the day that my niece had dropped me off at this place, and I get to go to Milwaukee, go to Wisconsin to visit them. When I get there, I look totally different, and so did they. They threw away like 6 years and 8 years, man. They went out and did some kratom. Fuck kratom, fuck kava, all that other bullshit. Do your Suboxone, get right, and get off that shit. Live life totally abstinent. It's so much easier, trust me. So they threw it away, man. But I couldn't help them the way they helped me because they're a family, and I really can't help them. If you ask me for help, I'm going to help you, but I can't impose what I'm learning, on you. I'm just starting to go through the steps. So when I get back, the step one, man, it was kind of like, we admitted that our power over alcohol and our life become unmanageable, right? All right, I admitted that for almost 2 years, 18, 19 months. But the trick was, I had to accept the fact that I was a drug addict and alcoholic, and I need a spiritual experience to live the rest of my life. If I don't have that, this thing isn't going to work for me, because I see it working in so many people's lives. It's like, man, why can't I get that happy? It's because I didn't want to do the work. And step two, man, I thought I did that right, man. It's kind of like, came to believe that a power greater myself can restore me to sanity. Well, of course we're insane. We keep on doing the same exact thing, knowing that the results are going to be the same. But what was the insanity part of step two for me was, I was in a 12-step program, not working the 12 steps. That's insane. So I winded up, I believed in God already, so we got through, step two. Step three, changed my life forever. I did my third step prayer in my mother's rooms. First time I prayed on my 2-year anniversary. First time I got on my knees and prayed. I always prayed on the side of my bed because it's hard for me to get up. And my sponsor's there. He says this prayer for us and his family, my family. And it brings me to tears, man. So I do the third step prayer. We sat there for like 10 minutes, and kind of like meditated. I get up and I hug this dude, man. And I can feel him shaking. It changed his life and my life that day. But for me, I thought, at first, I was like, man, he got something else more than me. And I was like, and he did. But it was like a few hours later, walking through Home Depot with my mom buying wildflower seeds, looking for them to throw in our little garden. And the sense of peace and freedom came over me. And that's the burning bush white light experience for me, man. I was free. I'm going to, I made a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God of my understanding. And it's God. But if I didn't believe that, and you guys have a problem with your higher power, just understand step three, you made a decision to go through the rest of the steps with some kind of help, get some kind of help. And that's the decision you make. So I started writing my 4th step that day, and it took me like a week. 4th step ain't shit. You already did it. Write it down and share it with your guy. And I'm saying that, but it took me all the way. I wrote it on August 1st, to August 5th. It took me till November to do my 5th step. And the reason I did it because I started going blind in November. And I couldn't get out of bed. I lost all my energy. I didn't know what was going on, man. I thought I was dying, and I was. The doctors, they did all the tests. They're like, Ira, everything's the same, man. They do blood work. The doctor, I leave, and the doctor calls me the next day. He's like, Ira, how you feeling? You need to go to the hospital right now. I'm like, what's on? He's like, you're dying. You're bleeding to death. I'm internally bleeding. My hemoglobins were at 4. Consequences of my drinking is still happening. I got varices too. I got tons of bands in my esophagus from drinking a hole into it. So what happens is the doctor's like, Ira, you lost so much blood. We don't know what's going to happen with these transfusions. So I asked them to leave the room, my mom to leave the room, you know, and the nurses, you know, and I prayed, you know, and I was like, man, whatever it may be, fear left me. I was ready to die. I was ready to go, and I was going to die in a good way, you know what I mean? I was going to die, you know, at least with a little bit of integrity, you know. And, I looked at the first bag, man, of blood going into me, and I had a spiritual experience in it, man, you know. What came over me was like, yo, you see these buses and shit, and people, you know, they're going there to get their, you know, their gift cards and stuff. But, yo, someone took their time and went on that bus, yo, and gave me blood that day. You know, so I respect all that situation, man. You know, so I had 5 blood transfusions, man. You know, and I survived. Soon I got home, I called my spouse. I was like, yo, I need to do the 5th step, bro. He comes over to my house. We get on my lanai. I talked to him for like 5 hours, man. You know, and you're supposed, yo, it was pretty badass, man. You know, I've done it before. I kind of did it half-assed before. Yo, I did the steps off the wall twice, so don't do it that way. Do it in a book, you know, because I can interpret whatever I wanted to say in my own mind off the wall. Unless someone takes me through the work, I'm not going to know shit. You know, I can read it 100 times and not get none out of it. So I do my 5th step, man, you know. So I go to meditate. You know, you meditate for like an hour and you pray right before, you know, at the end of the 5th step. So, yo, I don't really meditate well, so I wound up putting on the London Orion Orchestra with just Pink Floyd music, just the music going on in my head. You know, and I've been to laser shows and stuff like that. So when I had my eyes closed, you know, I went out for a little bit, and all, you know, the white light experience for me was like lasers from the music that I remember from before. And it freed me. I was like, oh my God, it happened. It was an hour and 45 minutes into it. I was like, yo, are you kidding me? I just told this man everything in my life, and God was right there with me, man. He's like, everything's going to be all right, man. And yo, it has been. You know, my life changed. You know, so many life-changing experiences with the steps. 6th and 7th step, you know, identify my character defects. You know, Ira shows up every day. You know, I will not hesitate to tell someone to fuck yourself. You know what I mean? But that's something I need to work on every day. You know, 95% of my life, I'm happy, joyous, and free. That other 5%, if I don't stick with it every day, yo, I'm going to die. I will drink again. Step 1 tells me automatically, I will drink again. Because if I don't surrender, you know, I'm done. 8 and 9, I wrote my list. I started my amends. You know, when you hear the promises and shit, yo, you don't get them promises 10 days into your recovery. You know, you need to be like, when they tell you, when you'd be amazed halfway through, you need to be like halfway through your amends stuff, so you can get the promises that are promised to you. There's so many promises. Every step's got a promise. And it's true, man. 10th, 11, and 12, man. You know, I take personal inventory every night with my sponsor on the phone. It's kind of a quickie. But, you know, I tell him my good and my bad stuff for the day that it goes on, you know. And we sit there and we bullshit for a few hours, man. You know, or an hour, whatever it may be. You know, and he takes the time. Yo, he told me to call him every day. Yo, I've called him every day since 18. Today is 34 months for me, man. You know, and I cannot believe it that I'm sitting here speaking to you guys. So it winds up December. I forgot this part. December happens. It happens again to me. I start bleeding to death again. I got 9 blood transfusions in a matter of 5 weeks. You know what I mean? And now I feel like a 30-year-old person, man. You know, I got not my blood in me that I was born with. You know, I got your blood. I got your blood in me, man. You know, it saved my life. So yeah, man, you know, 11th step is so crucial for you guys. You know, pray at night, pray on the stuff that you did wrong, you did right. You know, and the next morning, 2 miracles happen every day for me. And that's when each one of my eyes open up and I'm here today. That's a miracle. It's a miracle you guys are here today. And 12, man, is like to pass this message, man. It's what I'm doing today. My primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. You know what I mean? And I try to do my best, you know, what I can, man. I'm, like you said, I'm part of the steering committee on hospitals, institutions. This is one of the clinics I look over, try to make sure good meetings come in here. Yo, and it's so bad. I'm the GSR in my home group. I get to do so much fun shit. Yo, sober. You know what I mean? Like yesterday I had to stay home. I called my doctor. I'm starting to go blind again. And I'm really tired today. And for the last couple of days. So my doctor called me and said, yo, just go get some blood work tomorrow, man. You know, I'm like, all right, bet. You know, whatever. But my life I have today, I had no idea was available to me. You know, to work a program that's 80 some years old and it's still, no matter what, yo, you can open up any page of the book, no matter where you're at, and you can identify with anybody in that book because the book was written for us. about us, for us, you know, and it's very important. You know, I've been battling, man, but yo, it's so important to find a higher power, something spiritual. Go to the ocean, you know, try to stop a wave. You know, that's a higher power. You can't do that. You know, you can do that. Believe that I believe, you know what I mean? Believe that this program and fellowship works until you find your way. But just try not to depend on ourselves. You know, if I depend on myself, the we goes away and becomes I again, you know, and hour comes, you know, there's an hour, it's me again, you know, I don't do the right things. But, you know, I appreciate my life today. My mother sitting out here, she's 3 years sober too. You know what I mean? It's badass. She's 71 years old. You know, she sits in the car for like 6 hours a day waiting for me. She does it with God's help alone. You know what I mean? She's a little bit different than us. You know, I need this. You guys need this. Yo, you didn't trip into that door. Trust me. You know, everybody here got some kind of problem. Try to get it fixed. This is where you get well. You find recovery in the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, CA, B, whatever Anonymous. Go find your way, man, and get sober, save your life, have a great life, and I appreciate you guys having me tonight. Thank you.